everybody.
Oh, that.
Hello, Cole.
I'll just turn it off.
Yeah, it's good.
That's better, yeah.
I
started doing that thing I do. What's it called? Streaming. Yeah, that's it.
So,
Yeah.
discussions and crepuscular stuff. We gotta relate to the Twilight here.
Twilight.
Who here is a Bionicle fan?
Oh, I used to collect those.
Used to collect them.
I used to be a gigantic fan. I don't.
I remember. I think I had a video game that was based off it.
Yeah, they make
Stream
games.
no vision.
They made two of them. They made a couple on PS2. I know. They probably made more on other consoles. Anyway, or handhelds. Anyway, I barely know anything about this, but this episode sort of reminded me of a certain legendary mask of creation.
Okay. I do remember vaguely something about the mask, and they were always wanting them, but I never bothered with the mask. I just collected a few and used them to combine them with my Legos and stuff.
Whoa! Once the stream actually gets oh my gosh, this echo is kind of annoying. Whenever I talk, I can like hear myself. Yeah.
I don't know what the source of the echo is, I'm afraid.
I was on the, when I was watching the stream earlier. I had echo, but like towards the end there was.
Yeah, towards the end. I presume, therefore, it's probably my old Looney's end, though I really don't know why I'm getting my own echo.
I shouldn't be producing any echoes because my mic was muted for that. Like
Yeah.
just a few minutes.
I don't think it's coming from me either.
Also, Z-Sir, I noticed you had a shave.
Yeah, I shaved.
Oh, yeah, I just noticed that.
I just shaved because I felt like it.
Well, I was about to
Actually,
say-
I was gonna. I would have kept the part right here, but I messed up when I was shaving.
Anyway, I really wish that book, that spell wasn't dark magic, because the ability to create from thoughts is a dream come true for me.
Yeah, but it could also be evil or something like that.
All right, I'm getting visuals for the aftermath now.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
Oh
could be-
yeah. Also, I found this. I'll put it on the group chat. It's fine. I found this on Derby Brew.
Okay.
Oh, it's the stream live right now?
Yeah, the stream is live right now.
Goody. Anyway, I was about to say, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, the test.
So let me see this in. Who is your favorite MOP analyst? Mine's Voice of Reason. Tell me, Oliver. Gigi Bernie. Anti-DC. Yeah, I love Kim Possible a lot. Byter. Only because I
what's
feel
this?
bad for him. Ah, Lark.
Hey, what's the... Wait, what is this?
It's not. I just found it. It's nothing. It's not reflecting my opinion. I just
Yeah, I guess
found it
the-
and-
I mean, I've seen some of your artwork, and that's a different style from your own.
It's not mine.
Yes, that's probably why it's a different style.
I like that. I like that. Who is Byter?
A lot of people apparently, well, a lot of bronies apparently don't know about the analysts.
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't know about the analysts because now the analysts are like deep into the brewing community and stuff like that. You have to actually be actually working part of the brewing community, actually know some of the analysts. And you actually, to get into deeper, you actually have to to actually know Byter or somebody or some of the lower people like voice of reason and stuff like that. You actually have to dig down instead of like Digi, Tommy, and maybe Annie or someone like that, or Paleo. Of course, Paleo doesn't do pony reviews anymore. Except for a couple.
I mean,
He
there's
still
a few
does
analysts
some,
who are
but-
very well known, who have a big, huge sub count, but the majority aren't necessarily as well known. Like, and even the numbers for like middling channels, like Voice of Reason or something, isn't necessarily that high compared to like the bronies in total. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. Not many people have heard of most of us. Particularly me, I only have
Yeah.
like 900 subs. Like, lots of people surpass me in many ways, but I guess partly it's just sort of I have something
Anyone
unique that people
want
talk about.
and on a hard rock tonight?
What? What?
I typically don't understand him very well anyway, so post it in the chat, Cole, and I can read it out for you.
No, I don't watch much of the Hub other than MLP, and while I kind of like that movie, it's not very mainstream for everyone else, and not a lot of people like it, so...
Yeah,
Space
the
Jam?
question Cole said was, has anyone watched Space Jam on the Hub yesterday? I haven't. I don't follow the Hub that much.
I have the Hub. I didn't watch Space Jam, but I love Space Jam.
Oh, sorry. I don't hate it, it's just I don't know what to...
It's fine, man. Don't worry.
I don't know what to think about it, because...
It was just them doing a thing about It was just a real live action basketball game. That's all. It's nothing much.
One thing I won't deny, for me, the best part of it, the best part about it was Lola.
Yeah, Lola. That was the first time they ever introduced her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But yeah.
Why'd they have to make her so stupid in the Looney Tunes show?
Because because she wasn't really used that often, and she's not a firm character that really has much in-depth or anything to it. Nobody really knows her that well. That's why a lot of characters, like it's a lot of the side characters that a lot of people didn't really know very well, have a different personality than what they did in their original shows, because they just weren't that big, so they were able to change their personalities around. Unlike some shows like Teen Titans they did with Tiny Toon, with Titans Go. A lot of people didn't mind. Some people didn't mind the Looney Tunes show because, like, the people that they did the personalities for weren't really big characters, and when they did have big characters, they kept their personalities pretty well.
Well, I don't have a problem with the changes that they made to her character in the Looney Tunes show. I was just making some semi-rhetorical question.
It's completely fine. Yeah.
Anyway, Byter, you still owe Zach a OC test.
Do I? Is Zach even here? I see. I feel like I can give him the OC test. His answer would be kind of bland.
Zach is not here.
Yeah.
Zach is not here at the moment.
Well, he went to AFK. He'll probably be back, and he said he's ready.
All right.
Is Anthony C like a fan of Rainbow Dash or something?
I don't know.
Because I know Digi's likes AJ, and I know Tommy likes Rarity, but yeah, I don't know about the rest. Yeah.
Who would I have?
On you.
But yeah. We were talking about something.
We're talking about Looney Tunes, but I think we should drop that.
Yeah, but we were talking about something else before that.
Backtracking.
Yeah,
I posted that picture from Derpy Baru.
Oh yeah, we were talking about how some people are not some people are not all the time seen into the brony community. All that stuff, or what was it exactly?
There was a comment on this one picture by Ink Rose of the analyst community, and this one guy said that he doesn't. This might be a reason why the analysts aren't so popular. Well, one of the reasons is that
What was
I'll send you a link later. The guy said that
yeah.
he prefers an open discussion on forums rather than listening to someone else's opinion.
Oh yeah, there's that's the main thing about the brewing community too. About the analyst community, a lot of them are just listing their opinions. They're not really analyzing the show.
Well, some of the analysts mention or do collabs with other people.
And
Like,
yeah, they do.
Did that for a long time.
My
mentioning
show, for
everyone else's
example,
opinions.
my show, for example, of course, yeah, I pull in lots of people who are, a lot of whom also don't even produce videos, and also the aftermath is free to anyone. So people are free to come and join in on our discussions, even if it just goes a more personable format, which requires you to do a little bit more work than just chatting on the forum with lots of other guys.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's more they want to have their own 2 cents into the thing, because a lot of the times if you're going to have like a discussion or anything, it's not really a discussion for most people. It's more of a just listening to them put down your comments, and hopefully they respond to you or something like that.
Often, I mean, sometimes other people reply to each other in the videos. I don't know, I never really necessarily saw the worth in discussing it with others, other than just sort of, hey, that's your opinion, that's my opinion, that's your opinion. And like, typically on the internet, I don't necessarily relate the internet with being hyper-productive in the case of discussions and debates, despite me being quite good at them. Or at least I like to think so.
Kind of like me and Byter sometimes. Like a while ago, we haven't done this for a while, but we have, like, sometimes on the night, we have talked about the episode for a little bit on Skype right before, and sometimes it's just like a couple of sentences, and it's really, really short and doesn't really last that long, and then that happens, and we change the subject a lot.
What are you guys talking about?
We are talking about like discussions and stuff like that. Like really, sometimes discussions on the internet about like the show and like analyzing the show. Like somebody's like Max said, some people don't really care for the analysts because they rather go on a forum or something like that and talk. But sometimes it's like a lot of people are not really even though you do that, sometimes it's not really, you can get in depth with some of the episodes because you can't really talk about a lot about them.
I would rather talk than type, since I'm not that great of a speller.
That comments that I told you about was apparently not in the picture by Ink Rose, but in the comment section of the picture by Ink Rose on Derby Brew, but in the comment section of the picture that I already linked.
All right.
It's second or third from the bottom.
I was going to mention, okay, like, the thing about discussions is that on an online medium, it's actually quite an abstract medium, that even though I can see your faces and hear you speaking to me, it's still on a screen. It's still kind of a distance to us. And even like on a video call, it's easier for 2 people to like try and accidentally talk over one another, or for things to go out of hand. Whereas like in real life, when people start raising their voices, it gets really loud in each other's ears, and things are serious. If you raise your voice in this, the mics aren't always that loud, so big deal.
Yeah.
The other times, like, also speaking in regards to voice or text, in terms of producing content, I much prefer writing stuff, because that's much more efficient and easy for me to try to convey my meaning. The difficulty is that the way people use language and type out language is very different. That a lot of times I found, like, in some regards you want to hope that your audience is kind of clever and can assume the right details, but for every person who assumes the right details, there's another person who's looking at it the wrong way. And I find, the biggest chance for people to misunderstand each other and misinterpret one another is when they're doing text conversations, because you can't put nuances onto certain words. It's hard to necessarily hear how the person is pronouncing what they're saying. Lots of people love to type out something sarcastic on the keyboard, but no one's going to be able to tell that's sarcastic, because when you're doing sarcasm, you make it so serious. You make it really obvious you're being serious. But, text, you can't do that.
Unless you use, like, one of those emotional faces.
Even then, lots of people use the faces for different means, and, there's not necessarily a sarcasm face. I mean, at least if you do, sarcasm, a comment, and then end sarcasm, it's clear what the thing is sarcastic. Sometimes, though, people do, the little star asterisk thing, sarcasms asterisk thing, and then they just talk, but only, the first part of the sentence was supposed to be sarcastic, and, of course, me as the reader is unable to tell that, and I can try and guess at what their meaning is, but there's always going to be a miscommunication there.
Yeah.
Which is why I indeed, you see, I do prefer the podcast format, and it's interesting, I'll have a lot of disagreements with people in text format, but if I bring them on the show and discuss them with them personally in voice, you're a lot more reasonable. And it's sort of, it's an interesting situation, but the way people's minds work when looking at you in different mediums and different situations changes a lot. That people are much more easily wanting to dismiss someone if they're just reading the text, even if it is basically the same points, than just me elucidating it in a confident manner. I mean, obviously, how confident I sound doesn't change how cogent the point is. I might be a stuttering wreck, but I might still be able to make an important point. But, that's things to consider, and it's why I myself, of course, find it so comfortable and much more prefer the podcast format. It's live, it's recorded, it's all of us just sitting here chatting, and that's how it goes.
Yes.
So how about that OC test you owe Zach? I mean,
Zach,
Caesar
you
couldn't
ready
do it
for
last.
the OC
Caesar
test?
couldn't do it last week because he said that you do it better, Byter.
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do that during that time. I wanted to actually talk about the episode and stuff like that. I felt like doing that more.
And when I brought it up, I was just thinking to myself, challenge accepted.
Well, of course.
Okay.
Okay. You're okay, Zach, with this? Doing the OC testiness? Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, you got OC character in mind, right?
Yeah, well, I will be a Pegasus, since I
Alright.
love flying.
Yay.
And I take it this character is set within the world of Equestria, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What kind of places do they frequent typically? I mean, where do they live? Do they live in Cloudsdale, Ponyville, Canterlot? The types of scenarios makes more sense if, they live there or somewhere else.
I actually prefer Ponyville because of the small town-like thing. I like it.
Are you ready?
Okay, let's say for the sake of argument, your character has just... Sorry, Cole, what's that? Hopefully you can type that. Oh, there we go. Cole,
Equestria is a planet, he says.
Equestria is a planet.
Okay.
No, Equestria is a country.
Yes, but it
Yeah.
could also be considered the planet.
Maybe.
Don't know, we don't have enough information to say one way or the other enough. Okay, Zach, first question is
Yes.
sort of like, let's say your character is moving into Ponyville. They come into, they come in with like a movable van or something, or like a movable truck, or just something that, they tug along the stuff, and they're at the house. How do they generally act with unloading the stuff and getting into the house? Let's assume they have the key.
Oh, that'd be terrible if they didn't have the key. It's like, oh crap, the one important thing I forgot was the key.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of a weak person, so I actually need kind of some help since I'm not that strong picking up stuff.
We assume it's all in boxes, just generic brown big boxes
Ah,
and furniture and stuff and all that, quite heavy.
yeah, I could probably get I could probably get the boxes in, but my back would hurt. That's when I sit down.
Well, what we're saying is like we have seen like I think in one episode like lots of the pink feeling pinky keen episode like there's a cart
Mhm.
being pulled by Pegasus or something like there is a moval van thing. So
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
people who come along with the moval van who can help you with the stuff. So here's the question though, like yeah, you are rather a weak pony. So what packages do you bring in, if any, and why?
What kind of packages?
Well, like, are you going to try and help them with the heavy ones? Are you going to help them with the light ones? I mean,
I'll help them with the light ones.
all right. What kind of stuff would your character be bringing in anyway, if we say they're moving to Ponyville?
You know, the important stuff. You know, like refrigerator, tables, and like
Refrigerators are not light.
No, I mean the I mean the porn stuff.
Yeah. Just the important stuff. Your character. Does your character? Would your character be one who would have you know, would your character be someone who like has artwork or toys or memorials from the time being? I mean, what kind of things would that be?
Yeah. I bring some fun stuff with me.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, fun.
Oh my. Oh my.
I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking like a ball of string. It moves. It moves. Oh yeah. What kind of fun stuff? What kind of thing would they own? I mean, come on.
Well, the
Do they
thing
play
is,
any sports? Do they have any sports stuff? I mean, they would bring that, right? I mean, wouldn't you want to do it in all in one big move, or does this person have so much stuff they have to do it 2 moves?
I was gonna say, if Equestria really did have like electronics, I would like bring all my video games stuff.
Well, if we go by the rules of button mash, they probably do exist.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Hearts and Who's Day. They had like arcade machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've I never really liked the fact that.
Joy Boy. God, I'm gonna miss that.
All right, yeah. So yeah, we'll say if you have your small kind of primitive video game console with a few games. Anything else?
Mhm. Let's see here. I bring some toys along, some DVD. Oh well, yeah.
Why does your character have toys? What toys?
I have a toy with me right now.
Why does he
sorry.
have
Does your
toys?
character-
That's the
Yay.
question.
Does your character have a toy of themselves?
No, no. I'm
He
not.
said he has a toy with me right now.
I'm not that egotistical to have a toy of myself.
Okay, yeah.
He said I have a toy with me right now, not of me.
Okay. So, yeah, just dolls? Your character likes dolls?
Yeah,
I feel like
yes.
running upstairs and grabbing my Twilight plush. In fact, I think I'll do that. Be right
It's not
back.
against the rules having toys, it's just like, you know, certain people have toys, some don't.
Actually,
Like,
I don't want to miss this.
I
Some people
personally-
have collectibles.
Yeah,
I
I personally don't have
always-
any toys.
I always feel the need to hold something in my hand. I don't like to be
Wait.
handless.
Zach, how much is this OC an original character, and how much is this OC you?
Wait, what's the first part of the question?
Well, how like OC stands for original character. So like,
Yeah, of
how
course.
original is this original character, and how much is this original character just you?
I want to say it's kind of like me. Like if I'm going out in public, I'm not gonna like bring the toys. That'd be a little weird. So you know, just go out without them. Public and stuff. I'm a very boring
You have
guy.
a little,
Yes.
you have a little Twilight beanie baby thing.
Yep.
I have a pillow plush.
Yeah. So, what twists are what differences are there to your OC and yourself?
Yeah. You see, I would like to have this this one superpower that generally isn't all that useful, but in like the background, I would like have the power of music, like my own MP3 player, play like whatever song I want.
I was actually thinking of like when you said lame thing. I was just thinking like I have the superpower that if I do ha ha, then it plays like wah 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 wah. It's just such a silly power. Just like, well, here's my rebuttal. Wah 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 wah. People would be so confused.
Whenever I listen to songs, I get really pumped up and I feel confidence. Like, yeah, we're ready to kick some butts.
So it's a Pegasus who you would like to have the ability to just be able to play basically I hum, but everyone can hear it.
Yeah, but I would also have this option to like turn the music off, so that way if I'm like sneaking around, no one hears it.
Okay. It's like the I hum, but cannot also be the I hum. The I speakers, the slash I hum.
Yeah.
Okay, is that... I mean, I can talk to you about an imagined situation where you get a house in Equestria and then go out and do stuff. But like, if the only difference is you can do music, is there like, you know, the point of sort of the trial by fire, just asking mundane questions, is to try and imagine how this different person, you know, how this person will react to it.
Well, I would bring something with me to defend myself just in case something bad happened. In this case, this little candlestick thing. Just whack people with it. Of course,
How does Zero C hold that? Or is Zero C a unicorn?
Pegasus.
It's a Pegasus.
How does it hold it?
Alright, well, the thing is, I would have this little button on it, so that way it can shrink. I can hold on to it easily. So.
Yeah, but how? I'm just saying, how does Zero C use it as a weapon?
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, how I use it as a weapon? I just whack people with it.
Yeah, usually they use their teeth, but okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I always thought of this part as like shooting like laser beams out of it. It'd be kind of cool, actually.
That's pretty high technology in the equestrian world.
Maybe it's magic. I mean, maybe the candlestick holder is enchanted.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool.
Okay. How you got this piece of magic then? That's a question then. That's a question. If it's high technology, okay, that's pretty high. That's really high technology. Where you got that? If it's magic, where you got a spear that shoots lasers out of it? Unless you stole from the national.
I left at him having a candlestick and trying to bludgeon people with it, and then I came back and you said laser thing a stick that fires lasers. I missed it something.
Yeah.
Oh, the top part right here will shoot some lasers out.
Okay then.
Some magical. Okay, where in the world? Where did you get this magical laser shooting thing that looks like a candlestick?
Okay, now we're really gonna enter into my fantasy zone right now. I had to make sure I save everything.
Did you steal it from the?
Stole it from the aliens.
Alien? Oh my gosh! I was gonna say the National Armory, but okay.
Oh, what's this? They're selling it at the dollar store, and they didn't know it was enchanted. Oh, I'll take that. Thank you very much. No.
I'm surprised because of comic books there.
We have seen like Twilight fire like kind of laser beams out of our horn, for example. We've
Here's
never
my
necessarily
plan.
seen magic wands. Like, we've never seen someone use a wand that can basically levitate objects or fire laser beams like Twilight does.
Yeah, we haven't. Which means this is the first one in the world.
Yay.
Yay.
It started very mundane. Like, I'll have this candle. It will hit people. The hitting people might not be so great. It fires lasers.
Or you can use it as a lightsaber. Lightsaber. Swing, swing, swing. Oh, that's real cute.
What, you didn't see her?
Oh, you didn't see it in full view, so. Oh.
I
Only it wasn't stone.
I know that pony. Yeah, that one with the shell, that is Pinkie Pie. And the big purple one is Rarity.
But you think this one's Rarity?
Yes.
And this one's Pinkie Pie.
Just because she owns a reptile doesn't mean she is a reptile.
And this one's Octavia.
Oh, awesome!
Wait a minute. Wouldn't that be Rainbow Dash since it's a turtle?
Yeah, Rainbow Dash is a turtle.
Oh, okay. Well, no, it's a tortoise.
There's a different man.
I got this.
What was the Max? I mean, we did the whole thing with you last fortnight. What's the progress on that? You did say it's briefly speak on it, but you look backwards back at your character a bit more. Blarg.
I haven't done much work. I mean, ever since that conversation, I've been losing sleep over how I was not good at phrasing his character. It's all there. I just don't know how to word it. And
Okay, I'm sorry.
I tried to put him in. I tried to put him in more mortal situations in my head. Like I actually tried to reenact that bar scene, but he was there because he was depressed because there's this universal conjunction coming up that's going to possibly cause an invasion that'll probably enslave all of Eden. And it pretty much went the same way, except he paralyzed the brawlers and then tried to give... well, you know what, it's not important.
Okay.
Okay.
I just
Yes.
sometimes I miss if I'm putting myself in Maximus right now, the phrase would be sometimes I miss being immortal because I tried to pretend that he was that he had a bike a motorcycle that he rode around one of the major cities on the capital planet, but it just didn't feel the same.
Well,
Okay.
it's interesting. It's just but the thing is that you're telling us all this detail about your story and all that stuff, and he says it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Well, now it doesn't matter anymore because I know who he is, and not much is going to change that.
Yeah.
I just remember how I was gonna carry this. I was I was gonna carry it in one of those little mini bags that the ponies like to carry on their backs sometimes. You know, put it in there when it's like small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bag on your back as a Pegasus. Isn't that going to interrupt with flying? Is the Pegasus with bags on their backs?
Well, Derpy can pull it off.
Well, you can have a bag not on your back, but you can have the horse bags that they have all the time. Which you're able to carry, and I see in Rainbow Dash has carried one before when she was flying to camp. It's just I think they are not made for fast travel or anything crazy.
Okay.
I've been thinking. I just don't know which situation to put him in or how he would react to it, depending on what situation it is. Of testing my other character, who is only a part of me and not exactly me, Darkseid.
Okay.
Maybe.
I mean, he
I was
is...
actually going to give Zach a question just for his character for the fans.
Okay, you do that.
Zach, your character is like he's first in because he's carrying a light box, you know, of the toys and the video games and he enters like hallway, but to the side there's the main big room. You go in there and you see there's a banana on the floor.
What do you do?
Let's see here. The banana's probably dirty. I think I'll just pick it up and throw it away.
But it's
Oh,
peeled.
no. Oh, no. Okay. It's not peeled yet. Okay,
See, it's little details like these that aren't mentioned that caused me to fail last time.
You
So,
don't fail though. It's what your character does. He doesn't like dirty bananas, even if the banana is not peeled. So he doesn't like dirty bananas. He doesn't feel like washing it off, so he just throws it away. It's completely fine.
Well, the natural question is, is it peeled or unpeeled? And I was just imagining like an unpeeled banana on the floor.
ew. I'll just pick it up and throw it away.
Okay, that's completely fine.
Like unpeeled refers to when it hasn't been peeled, right?
Yes, unpeeled.
yes.
Ew, it's not been peeled! Ah! Okay. Alright, he throws away the banana. Damn it! Cool. You put your box down somewhere, where? In the corner, I presume? And the others are moving stuff in. And we'll just say, for the sake of argument, your character moves all the stuff in. And they say, we assume you've already paid, and the people leave. What do you do now? You have boxes.
I'm like, crap. Now I gotta pack all these. Alright, might as well get it over with.
Also consider that you've just been, like, we'll say for the sake of argument, from Canterlot, you've been on a long journey. And it's like, a few hours journey. Perhaps you might want to eat.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably get something to eat first.
It depends of how hunger resistant your character is.
I can literally go hours without eating.
A lot of people can.
Ow! How hours? But I already lost 10 seconds!
Well, Cole
And
just sent a pretty interesting picture.
no, it's looping. Okay, fixed it.
Yeah, Cole just sent us a pretty interesting picture.
I'll be right back.
I wasn't kissing her, I was sniffing her. Just to let you know. I like sniffing.
Kind of weird.
What? Kind of weird, you say?
Sniffing?
I
Still
like
kind of
sniffing.
weird.
I thought you said snipping.
I
He
like
says-
sniffing. I like sniffing fabrics.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hey, Cole.
Here we are.
You sent a... It had, it has final draft in a outfit. It has him in a tie and all that. What was this about? You gave us a picture with no context.
I think he's being interviewed as to why he was booted out of BabsCon.
Okay.
Well, I don't know exactly if that's the
It
case
might
because
be something
he's
else.
I think it is something. It might be something else because this doesn't look like This doesn't look like.
This looks more. This looks more like actual thing, like a little awards thing or something like that.
I had a feeling that something would go wrong with this test thing because as you can tell, I don't really go in depth most of the time.
It's completely fine.
And subscribe.
Okay, subscriptions.
At least you have a pretty interesting OC.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Wait a minute, you have two OCs.
Well, the first one I had in my introduction video was made from Pony Creator, but then I decided to give it a bit of a makeover. So I went on to DeviantArt. You know the you know the puppets from the Double Rainbow episode?
Yes.
I based it off one of the puppets. It was the Daring Do rig.
Your Pony Creator version sort of looks like
I kind of noticed.
your Pony Creator version
Yeah.
sort of looks like. Please stop interrupting me. Your Pony Creator version sort of looks like Janet from the Magic School Bus.
Oh, really?
Well, the
Didn't know
glasses and the red hair. I mean, the
I
attire
don't-
doesn't. The shirt and the necklace don't really match Janet, but as far as I can remember,
Oh, okay.
I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes and barely read any of the books, and those were years ago. I was, however, in my childhood hooked on the computer game, The Magic School Bus Explores the Solar System. It's how I got my basic knowledge of the solar system and memorized all the planets and their key moons when I was 6.
Holy crap! I now just remember that game. I didn't remember that game until you brought it up. Holy crap! The only thing I remember about that game is when you visit Pluto.
What about visiting Pluto?
I don't know. I just remember visiting Pluto. I don't know exactly what happens there, but I remember it being point and click.
Yeah, most of the time, but there was also a keyboard game that you could play on each planet to get tokens so that you could go to the Magic School Bus and get clues from Miss Frizzle as to where she is so you can look for her.
Man, now you're just bringing back memories now. I completely forgotten about that game.
The weirdest part of the game were those color spheres back at the classroom. Those planets on a map, I think, that you could click on, and then they had their own weird soundtrack and sometimes aliens and such.
Mm-hmm.
Very surreal. But
I'm gonna have to look this game up again just so I can remember it.
Yeah.
I saw some places where you can get a download, but it's probably surreal. But
I'm gonna have to look
Ignore
this
this, the
game
stream
up
can't
again
hear it.
just so I can remember it.
I saw some places where you can get a download. but it's
Good.
probably
I could hear. The fuck? Oh well. Wait. How is that? Oh, I muted the wrong one. Okay.
There was 95, then 98. And
Yeah,
then
95
there
and
was,
98.
and then there was XP.
Oh, there's
it was-
Byter. Byter's just come back.
It
Yeah.
was this game. It's called Scooby-Doo: Mystery of the Fun Park Phantom.
Oh,
Let's see here.
Well,
I
Byter
could-
has rebooted.
Yes, I have rebooted. You see, what happened was, he's role-playing a pony who ate a hot dog. And I just couldn't process that. A pony ate a hot dog. It's like a pony eating a beef burger, or just raw chicken.
You can't see it right there, but it says Windows 95/98.
Okay.
Got it.
yeah, I could sort of see it.
You were saying something, Byter?
No, I made my point that I just must have crashed from the concept of a pony eating meat. I was trying to say, okay, you eat the hot dog, and you feel, your stomach feels horrible.
Something wasn't made to process this.
It's like, why do you...
I never get. I rarely get sick from food.
Well, it's, what foods have you consumed? Have you consumed foods that you're not supposed to? Like, do you sit down and eat paint once in a while, or do you try and eat tons of grass for no reason?
I didn't know ponies eat paint.
No, it's just ponies
Mm,
usually don't eat
delicious.
meat.
Oh, meat. I thought you said paint.
Yeah,
I
he
said-
said paint, but he also said, but he's mainly talking about the meat that you just consumed.
We're omnivores. We're able to consume both quite a lot of meat and vegetables, whereas of course horses are herbivores and therefore only eat vegetables and not meat. So, and a human equivalent to those food restrictions of a herbivore would be to consume things that are still not that well digestible to us. So, yes, paint is one thing that you could ingest, though it wouldn't necessarily do very good for you, just like meat wouldn't do good for a horse. And the other one that I said was grass, like tons of grass, because some creatures do live off grass, but of course humans can't.
There's also deer that have been seen in meat, but that is actually real. It's still not that good for them, and they still don't get a lot of nutrients from it.
It's a rarity.
It's very rare.
Hey, rarity.
Has
see
anyone
what you
here
did there.
seen the YouTube video called Consequences?
No.
No.
It's an animation. I forget who animated it. It was. You know what? I'm just gonna give you the link because you have to find out for yourself. It's hilarious.
Okay.
You will suffer great consequences.
You must see to believe.
that was pretty cool, Looney. That was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Give him any credit. He can like sing "Giggle at the Ghostlies" pretty well. That bit at the end. That bit at the end.
Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
I bless your soul.
Oh yeah. One thing about the new episode that I noticed at the very beginning. I noticed the music playing in the background was like, I guess, an instrumental version of "Giggle at the Ghostlies." Like, wait a minute, is this "Giggle at the Ghostlies"?
Wait, this sounds familiar. I love it for some reason.
I wouldn't be surprised because there was a lot of cut and paste in this episode.
Yeah.
It's like "Giggle at the Ghostlies" except different.
It's different somehow.
Oh.
Not what I remember.
You guys are gonna have to take my word on this when it's not what you think when I say the animator is Tierra Y.
Ha 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 ha.
But I swear to God, that wasn't. I don't know if that was really. Either it's. I don't know. Yeah, it was originally called Consequences. Now it's called something else. Anyway, here's the link. Copy and paste.
TRY. Yeah, I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen that before. There's nothing suspicious about this at all.
Yes, choose this video, nothing suspicious at all.
No, nothing suspicious at all.
Nothing at all.
What do you mean? What do you mean suspicious?
I have no idea.
You'll know.
So,
What is there an innuendo in this one too?
What?
Because I don't see
Byter,
it.
hey Byter, I was wondering if I could tell you guys more about how I actually started into the fandom since I'm pretty new to this side.
Oh, that's completely fine. Yeah, do it.
Well, as like I said in my introductory video I did, my best friend introduced me to the show. It was about midway through season 2, I think, when I first started seeing MLP for the first time. And when I first saw it, my first reaction was, whoa, like, this is My Little Pony as it was now, like it was when it was in the 80s and all that stuff. And I really enjoyed it ever since. And since I heard it was Lauren Faust, the co-creator of the Powerpuff Girls, I knew that this would be a really good show for me to watch. So that's how I got into MLP.
She wasn't a co-creator. She She
One of the main people.
she was a writer for the Powerpuff Girls, but she
Yeah.
wasn't a creator. She helped she wrote on the show. She helped with Foster's Home Imaginary Friends, but she was the only thing co-creator of Wonder Over Yonder. Sorry about that.
All right. Thanks for the clarifying. So anyway, when I started to watch more of the episodes and listen to some of the songs from the show, and also some of the fan musicians, really got well into it. And after watching you guys doing the analysis of every episode that you've done, I was inspired to start my own analysis series, and I'm doing pretty good so far. Although I haven't been active recently because I got stuff to do for university and all that stuff, and also been away just recently. But I'm gonna do some more after when I finish uni. So so I've done so I'm doing pretty good so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
I started reviewing when I was at uni, but for myself, I only had the weekends really free, and even then, I had work to do. So the only thing that really made any sense was I would do written reviews, just spend like an hour or so writing up a certain length article and posting it up on my DA. Because otherwise I was just too busy with projects and stuff to really do much else. Particularly since I saw that other people were reviewing the show, and I commented on like one guy's videos. It was called NY Pony, I think it was, and we had some discussions in the comments. It was good. We chatted on Skype. We got along fairly well. We were like, hey, we should start a podcast. And 69 weeks later, I'm still freaking doing it.
How do you get on a Skype chat with someone that famous?
He weren't famous at the time, dude.
Yeah.
That was very early days, like when he would
A lot of people-
reply to everyone's comments, because you would only get like 10, 12 comments. You could have conversations with everyone. He only had a few hundred subscribers. So how could I get a conversation with someone? By them not really being that big and me not really being that big either.
I tried to interview Kaiko and Jilly without the necessary equipment, and I completely botched it up.
Well, yeah. See, the funny thing is, it's always timing. If you always see, that's the reason why a lot of the brownies that are pretty famous right now are friends with one another, because all of them started off during the same thing, and like Bronies React, there was a reason why they all got on the Bronies React thing, and they got into a Skype call and started being friends. Everfree Network, it's the same thing. They started off as a group of friends that did that, and that's how they became Everfree. And somebody had the idea of doing that, Everfree Network, and bam.
Yeah. BNNY sort of started the starting heyday of the analysis community. I'm not sure how much we could lay claim much to it, but it was an interesting thing that we started this podcast, and of course, some people noticed us, so we were looking out for other analysts, and we all started networking and getting people to be able to meet one another, so that over time, we before there were people standing out there like NY, Tommy Oliver, or Golden Fox.
It's very or not.
Could you type that, Cole? I was saying though that we managed to social network, something that I don't think we've necessarily seen ever before, and the situation was a sort of that just the number of reviewers and knowledge of one another skyrocketed, at least for me and NY, that we knew about everyone and we were suggesting to everyone else each other, which I don't know necessarily it was what sparked it off. I mean, Digi was really the big guy, and he did appear on the CBD, and we've had like everyone on the CBD at this point, but so many of you, I mean, Rosie will know, of course, about like the Rift Cafe, which
Yeah.
was started up by one of the hosts or co-hosts and moderators, people working on the CBDML Alicorn. It was sort of an idea we all had that, we spend so much time, like we personally had a whole list of all the reviewers, analysts, and people that we were interested in who had on and were trying to contact. Like, we were going out there, finding everyone in the community and bringing them all together. And in some regards, we can lay claim, I hope, to being the first, we were the ones who were doing all the going out and talking to people at the time when the community was really separate, at least in that for making reviews. And in the end, whilst of course the podcast isn't necessarily behind the entire community, I would like to imagine that we did a lot in terms of networking that allowed the community to finally recognize itself.
Yeah, and that's why nowadays the community is a lot more tight-knit and stuff like that.
It's why, no doubt, even though I have 900 subs, that's hardly anything. Everyone in the analysis community generally sort of knows me.
It's great to be known.
Yeah, so even though I'm not known by the common people necessarily, I'm known by everyone who writes reviews. Just because, in a way, we were the starting ones who started off writing, networking everyone. Everything comes back to me in why at some point.
Yes.
The founding analysts, just like the founding fathers.
I guess I should say what I did yesterday. Yesterday, I went to this little a fair thing, and there's this ride called the Starship 2000, where you go inside this little spaceship thing, and
Mario, we were talking about the people joining the fandom and stuff, and
I know.
of the analysts, and you're like,
randomness.
Yesterday I went to the fair, and there was a ride. I was almost thinking, yesterday I sat at home.
So I was fishing the other day, and it was really fun. I caught myself a bass, and it was.
Oh yes, I did.
Oh righto.
Yeah.
You're reminding me of Jice.
Yeah. Yesterday, I went to the Boy Scouts to help them out for a couple of hours, and I went to see Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
And then 2 weeks before
I
went.
Then I went out and I hanged out at the park with my friend's girlfriend because I was a third wheel at the time, and I should have not been there. Yeah. And I went to smoke hookah.
I really shouldn't have been there. Then the week prior, I was at the mall with a few of people.
Yeah.
Just jump around through a story. Anyways.
So to stick on the topic of the analytics community, the first was the CBD. That was sort of the first big network that I really know of. Did you do sometimes refer to some people's videos? Like he did refer to me at one point in NY, I think, or something like that. And Tommy Oliver even has referred to me. But I haven't seen them. They're not necessarily people who give shout outs all the time in their videos, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And CBD is the first starting, and then after that we also founded the Rift Cafe, which is just a Skype group with basically everybody in it where they all communicate. And what that has facilitated, from what I can see, is a lot of people collabing on episodes and stuff, both two people doing a review and sharing subscribers, which is the way to go forward. But there isn't necessarily the big starting people who did get a big huge gain. Tommy Oliver has always been there, and he's always been working very closely more with Digi. But those two have always got so far ahead that they don't really necessarily. You don't see them collabing with many other people, really, or very small people, do you? They got big themselves, but they never really necessarily they're not in the Rift Cafe. They both left, despite having been there at one point. Whereas all the other smaller channels, they're all sharing, interacting, and collabing together to build themselves up. And it's still small, but there's all the individual channels aren't that huge. They're not giant. But
Yes.
over time, all of them, they're all sharing the subscribers, and the numbers are going to rise, and
Yeah.
all of them as a group are going to rise. As the Rift Cafe, I know, like Looney himself is like, there's a Rift Cafe channel where they're planning to have videos which features a lot of people from the Rift Cafe community. So there's a lot to be said for this new era of community, yeah, because this CBD only has like, a few guests on at a time, and it's only so many people in the aftermath.
Yes.
It was just my thing for interacting with others, and it's a good starting point. But now the community is really coming into its own, and that's really quite interesting in a way.
Yes. It's becoming its own thing.
Also, since you mentioned the Rift Cafe channel, secret link in the chat.
Ah,
Okay.
If anyone's interested in that.
mm-hmm.
You know they've
you
actually done a video on the Rift Cafe channel where AY was doing like a game show type
Horseplay.
of video. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first episode was with Sweetie Bloom and Robin0298, and the judges were you were there, Byter, and also Gibbon and Persian. And I think that was a really clever idea to do like a game show type video. So
Game show. I
we
love
really
game
should
shows.
finish the judging of the second episode of that, because it's been recorded. Like the thing is, there's so many different people getting in it, all different schedules. It's really impossible almost to all have a sit down and spend several hours making a game show. So it's all
Yeah.
different bits and pieces being chucked together.
I don't like
And
being out of the
judges-
loop on that show, because, like, I could totally be part of that.
It was orchestrated by BPM, but he's also sometimes a bit whimsical about sort of, I'm doing this thing, I kind of lost it. Oh, look at everything! New thing! And they're slightly pushing still for it, but it's like we're trying to get 3 judges again in together. And like, I'm free most time, Gibbon is free most time. It's just, they wanted to get Cloud Cuckoo Country in as an alternate judge, but me and Gib in the UK, he's in Australia, the opposite side of the world.
Yeah.
It's just,
I have
scheduling that is ridiculous.
I have dealt with that problem too. I have a friend that's also in Australia, and Australia from my place is about 14 hours away by time. So it's
It's like, yeah, if it's late after like midnight for you, it's just like
yeah.
early morning for them. It's just
Yeah.
it's a really inconvenient place where there's not really a good way to do the times. I have done like an Australia cast where I like stayed up. I started podcasting at midnight, and for them it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. Which at least was a fair enough compromise, because 9 o'clock in the morning isn't too unreasonable, midnight not too unreasonable, just everyone's either just about to fall asleep or just woken up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have done that with some of my friends. I have a friend, and that just wakes up right in the morning. It's he's always when he's waking up, he's always like cranky and stuff like that. And then I have to go to bed around 2 because of work. And it's kind of sad sometimes.
Yeah. So at the moment there isn't actually an episode 2 if you're interested, but it's in the works, and I don't know how much the momentum's gone down, because there isn't necessarily the selection of judges isn't great, and I'm not sure. Like I actually forgot that I was supposed to be judging it. I was like, and so I was like, hey, you're supposed to be judging. I was like, all right, American Country, are you available? No response.
Okay, so I now know BPM's the one to talk to, because I want to get more of those out, because it's an interesting show, people like it. So
Yeah. By the way, I was like behind a lot of the ideas on that one. Like, there was lots of kind of concepts of sort of have someone talk for half an hour and then we judge it or something. It was just like, how's that going to work? And it was like, or what we could do is like have a little mastermind kind of section, and a shorter kind of analysis thing, make it a lot easier, and split the thing up into parts rather than do it in all one go. So I'm always the idea guy behind a lot of things in this community.
I can see that.
I'm curious. I'm curious. What happens in this game show?
Well, it first starts off with the trivia round, where A&Y asks each contestant about like certain things like they've seen in episodes. You have to base their knowledge, and then the
Trivia.
second round, A&Y gives them a topic to do a 3-minute
2 minutes
review
ago, and it's a day by time. That means I don't go. You all take care, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Cole.
They go and dog quack. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye for now.
Ta-ta.
Michael.
Bye.
What? Okay.
Hey, how are you? And Tata.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay, get
Bye.
And I hang out in 3,
Ta-ta.
2, 1. Bye!
Bye.
Goodbye!
Bye bye, Carl.
Bye.
So as I was saying, in the second round, anyway gives them a topic to do, under like about a 3-minute limit about what their opinions on sort of thing. So like in episode 1, it was about reviews about what makes a pony get their cutie marks and about making their destinies. So I think that's
Yeah, just
really what
cutie
it
marks is the
entails.
question. Talk about cutie marks in the show. What do you think about them and stuff? And yeah, people could bring up topics of destiny or how much the cutie marks play into their personalities and stuff. And that was the idea. And yeah, people discuss it for 3 minutes, and then the two contestants are judged and given scores by the judges. And in the end, you take the score of the trivia questions and the score from the judges, put them together, and see who won.
Yeah.
And all this can be found at youtube.com/user/TheRiftCafe.
Shameless plug.
Shameless promotion.
The Ref Cafe hasn't really necessarily. I mean, there's that one episode thing, and we really need to make more of those game show things.
Yeah, I'm
but there's
thinking
also
of
other
starting
things
to
planned.
pick it. I was talking to Voice of Reason about getting it started, so it'll probably happen after this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna start getting recordings for the first episode of the series that we have planned.
Which we have 2 more weeks of.
Yeah, so
I love
Yeah.
game shows.
thinking of, I gotta send a bunch of messages. If you'll excuse me.
Right.
It will be certainly interesting to see how the Rift Cafe develops in terms of it just being its own channel. As far as I can say, as so far, there's collabs, and that is pretty sweet by itself. Though, of course, it means like some people like Robin are very prolific with collaboration, and you can sort of understand the motivation. If you collab all the time, you get everybody else's shelves, or at least you get exposure to everybody else. I have seen this like in other communities, like the Call of Duty community. Like, people loved collabing and commentating in each other's videos. There may become a point where people get a bit too saturated with always having 2 people in a video and never really that interested in the second person. But for now, it's a mutually beneficial deal that a lot of people are doing. At least with the Rift Cafe, it's an interesting thing that, you know, all the analysts sort of can at least eventually meet each other in the Skype group, but also in the channel you'll be able to see lots of different reviewers and people being shown in lots of different episodes, which will hope, you know, if you want to learn about the analysis community, or at least the Rift Cafe community, then that channel will do it. Though it's just what direction will the Rift Cafe take in years to come, I really don't know.
It might be. It just depends on how everyone reacts. Like,
Yeah.
I would say if the Rift Cafe, like, the only thing I'm thinking of is after the show ends completely. After the show ends, what's going to happen?
I'm thinking
To
we
the
could
analyst.
like branch out into just cartoons in general, like
Yeah.
what the community is doing. We will kind of try and reflect.
Yeah.
There's lots of possible things to do. It's interesting that, you know, our community has been burgeoning and growing all this time. The only thing I'm a bit sad about is that now I'm not the center of it anymore.
You're not the center of attention.
Well, it's kind of good. I mean, all I'm doing is a podcast, and that's where I'm happy.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
What happened? What I do wonder. What would you used to the podcast? We like get 50 and and so on for viewers and stuff. Now we can usually get 16. Do you have an idea of that? Is it because we moved from Twitch to stream, or what you think?
I think the situation is that those who watch me are either other analysts, and they don't necessarily always advertise me that much because they're just watching in their own time if they watch it at all, and not all of them do, because podcasts aren't always like within the community. Podcasts are there's only going to be a small part of that really likes it, and the community we've got, there's not that many people. So, basically the people watching my streams live are my watchers, people who actually are interested in watching a podcast live out of a small subscriber base. Out of 900 people, 12 also show up. I mean, UC's there, Max and Mario Fanboy, of course, are regulars to the show that you very much enjoy it. And there are others who pop in from time to time here and there, so don't get me wrong, but it's sort of, not everyone has time for a podcast. Not everyone has time to be subscribed to a podcast, and not everyone has time to actually just watch whilst it's live. So, the numbers were always a little bit bigger, actually, when we had a bigger pool to draw from, which was ANY or others would be advertising that the CBD was going on. Like, we had very, very large numbers on watching the CBD when we had like ANY and Digi on. We were highest when we started. And over time, it's mostly turned into my channel, my thing, and as such, whilst everyone knows me in the community, I haven't necessarily drawn tons of subscribers from it.
Yes. Yeah, I can see it, and I can see what you mean there, completely.
I mean, I don't necessarily. The most important thing for me, I've always been just the free-form discussions with people. The guests I have, and the aftermath is just anyone can join. And generally speaking, I think we have a good, healthy aftermath for the most part. And that's what I like in the podcast. The podcast, for the most part, has to be number one priority is you have fun doing it. Otherwise, there's no point putting so much effort into something with so little rewards. You're better off making videos than doing podcasts, to be honest. Podcasts are for those people who like podcasting, and I like podcasting. And even though I'm not a big guy, everyone knows me. I can ask everybody in. I had Silver Quill on, and we had a very good discussion. He's a very big and new upcoming YouTuber, and he had the time to come on the CBD. And he even came on when I wasn't on, and he sent me a message on Skype saying it was a bit sad that I wasn't on. Because it wasn't as lively a discussion as it is with me in the show.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and that's also the reason why I didn't stay on the aftermath that long either, because it just didn't seem that lively. I don't mind going with off of Max, and no offense, Max and Zach. It's just I was like.
Wait, did you just say Zatch?
Sorry, I forgot your name.
Zach.
Snack.
Zach.
That should be a nickname. Zach. It's up to Zach. You got your laser beams. Zach.
Oh, you mean like the anime Zatch Bell?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Zach sounds like a laser beamy noise.
It does. Well, it's just. I don't mind. It's just I love talking to other people and stuff, and mine certain conversations felt kind of, last week I just didn't feel like it either. It just felt like, yeah.
I mean, the situation I see with a lot of podcasts is, yes, everyone likes discussing things, but a lot of people are rather, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but rather normal in a way. That they just want to talk about the normal stuff. They're not necessarily huge, bombastic personalities.
Yeah.
And that's often a big problem with a lot of new attempted podcasts is, it's kind of fun when you're off-camera chatting with a few mates and you just don't care what you're talking about. With a podcast, though, you always sort of feel someone's watching what you're saying. and sometimes people let that pressure get to them, and it's very different sort of sitting down and saying, for this hour we're going to talk and make other people find it interesting possibly. And that's not always successful. With me and a lot of other successful podcasts, I think there's usually at least a few very larger than life personalities, and whilst I don't necessarily think myself as a more personal person than others, I mean, I am certainly rather unique and outspoken compared to probably most average people.
Yes.
So what were you trying to say? No offense.
It kind of felt bogged down, and like I was trying to work with you guys. It's like I just felt like the podcast was brought down, and I couldn't really do much.
Brought down? What do you mean?
Do you know what I mean?
I didn't feel is reduced.
I didn't like.
Eagerness
yeah, like I didn't
not so much there.
Like
I presume.
Yeah, I usually I didn't feel like I could. I didn't feel like it didn't feel right to me or something like that. Usually I'm fine. I'm usually energy. I don't mind, and I can talk about stuff. And I can do that.
Well, I mean, in some regards, the old interesting thing is sort of the aftermaths are typically sort of a bit more the Byter and Caesar hour with friends.
Are you saying we brought the aftermath down?
No, you didn't.
I'm saying that typically speaking, like, me and Caesar sort of operate on a similar level, I think. That when I bring up a complex point, he is often the one who's more likely to appreciate it than the other regulars, so to speak. And he's the more outspoken person who has something to say on those matters. And we both have different approaches. Of course, like, you know, we do of course have lots of discussions about mythology and discussions that I don't even get involved in. But generally speaking, a lot of times, like when I bring up politics or history or mythology and stuff, the first person I feel that replies is sometimes Caesar. And, you know, I would say, you know, it's not. I'm not trying to begrudge anyone else. I'm just saying that, you know, both me and I have a very good online chemistry in a way that really does help with the aftermath.
So you're saying that don't interrupt. Zach and me are not exactly like you two.
Well, I just
No,
I
it's
just
like
exactly
it's
like
more.
us.
It's because it's the chemistry. Like me, I just like you guys. You and Zach make good chemistry. I can see that. And I felt like a third wheel. Get what I mean?
So we're not.
And me on the other hand, I just stay quiet most of the time.
So we're not compatible.
No, we're we're good. It's just when we were trying to talk, I just didn't feel the energetics or something like that. It was completely fine. You did fine. Don't worry. It's just I'm not trying to. If I upset
Also,
you,
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know. Also, I don't know exactly. Like, one thing about
Well,
the
I don't know
aftermath,
really
of course,
what
it
you're
immediately
talking about.
follows the main show. I haven't actually watched the episodes I missed. I've been rather busy this week. But I don't know, from what I've heard, it's not necessarily going to be as high energy and interaction as if I was there. And the situation is that, you know, you've gone from a kind of less energetic thing. There's not necessarily going to be a spurn of energy afterwards. Like, at least sort of, I would like to imagine that you guys who watch the show and all the way to the end of the aftermath at least are reasonably interested in the discussions that we have and rather invigorated to have discussions of their own. If you watch an hour and a half of people going, oh, it's a kind of, it's not necessarily the most inspiring thing to go into when you now have to speak for yourself.
I also, during the time, I also went to church during that time too, so I was actually really tired because of the way my church is. Where my church is, when I actually go to it, is a really Ever went to African American church? Anybody here?
No.
Okay. You know the stereotypical African American church. You stand up, you sing, you jump up, and you get really into it.
Gospel.
I
actually want to go to one of those.
That's the type of church
that strangely reminds me of that one song in the Blues Brothers movie.
see the church that I go to, and I can only go to churches like this, or I literally fall asleep because they're way too boring for me. You get up and you're energetic, and the preachers, they're singing and hollering and all that stuff, and the preacher is energetic. He gets up there and he speaks, and I have met, and when we ever bring in other preachers, I have a preacher. He said he does what the Lord tells him to. Sorry, I'm sorry. I am Christian. And he started running around the whole entire church preaching about the gospel and all that stuff, and like that. And I can only go to a church that is like really energetic, and during that time I use a lot of energy, and I felt bogged down too. That might have been also a factor. There's multiple factors during that day because it was Easter. I also helped with setting out the eggs, and that's how my church works. So I might have also been bogged down because of that.
Yeah, I think though we don't necessarily need to spend too long considering, oh, the aftermath, you left. I mean, you left, big deal. I mean, people come and go a lot of the times, and I'm not exactly keeping a tally or caring too much. If the aftermath is fun and we keep doing it, then so be it, really.
Yeah. Also, my mom needed me. I had homework.
All right. I said that it's enough.
I should shut up. I'm shutting up now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I still don't know what you meant. I still don't know what you meant by there was probably that there may or may not be a problem
was
with.
just giving justifications for his decision to leave the aftermath last time. Just take the justifications on their own merits if you want.
But that was that before or after the aftermath actually ended?
I left before, and I looked at the aftermath, and it was only like 6 minutes left after I left that you guys closed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Clark.
Okay. Now we're not on that aftermath, we're on this aftermath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surprisingly, haven't talked about too many incredibly deep topics other than just, I guess, the communication, or communicating via language, via, real means or electronic means. But that's as far as we've gone.
Surprisingly, yeah.
It's not always politics and stuff. So I don't know. Ooh, I feel, how long have we been going on for at this point?
I have no idea.
Only about an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, only an hour 45 minutes.
Oh, wait a minute. I think you guys ended the aftermath kind of late, though, too, so it's probably only like an hour and 30.
The aftermath's not over, though.
No,
I mean, not the aftermath CBD.
He meant the main show.
Okay.
They invited your yawning made me yawn.
Sorry we're not talking much. I'm sort of browsing other websites while I'm listening.
It's fine, man. That's the thing, though. It's interesting.
I do have a question, like, what will, I mean, we did speak about, like, the Riff Cafe, of course, doing stuff after the show, but what will the CBD do after the show? Between season 2 and 3, we just kept talking about, season 3, and also talking about other shows, but even then it was sort of, I felt it dragged on a little bit.
Will we have more? Will we have more just entire aftermath shows?
I might just do indeed just aftermath shows, ones without any subject, because sometimes, like, the subjects were quite restrictive. Like, oh, hey, have a podcast about humor in the show, and actually that one was one of the more fun ones. But other times, like, we didn't get people in who were, we thought would be passionate about the subjects, but they really weren't, and it's sort of, I mean, I could only hold a conversation with myself for so long without it seeming a bit weird.
We could go like Gravity Falls or anything, something about that.
I
or-
mean, yeah, we did do like one episode on Gravity Falls, and one episode on like Attack on Titan.
I think we
So far.
didn't we do like not one episode, but the whole entire season?
We talked like the whole season, first season of Gravity Falls in one episode. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty. So
I
we
did
could
like going out into the different things, and if people are interested, we can of course do those things. But the only aftermath, or not even having much of a show in between, might be a way to go. Just because sort of the main show, at least the topics are best fueled by having new content to actually discuss. I mean, aftermaths, as long as we get enough people, there's always just random conversations. But even then, like, if it's only you guys who are regular, I don't know, like, how many hundreds of hours can we communicate before we've sort of already trod ground that we all can sort of speak on already?
Yeah, and that's one thing I can definitely see that can come soon, because that's happened on one of my Skype groups beforehand.
Yeah.
And
It's almost, I mean, I think after the show I might do a few more shows, maybe some aftermaths, but I really do sort of enjoy, I don't know, I've been doing this for over a year, continuously, once every week, and I'll come back season 5, no doubt, but for me, I feel like taking a break and coming back fresh, renewed, with everyone else, fresh, renewed, is a pretty nice choice. Keep things from going too stale.
yeah, and I can completely agree with that, and stuff like that. And maybe like
In the meantime, I can do other things. Huzzah!
yeah, you can finally finish your video.
I'm planning to try and just like push it all together after the season ends. Like, you know, that's kind of a nice point because people are talking about the show as it, you know, airs. So why make the big whole video come out in the middle of the season? Make it come out at the end of the season when there isn't necessarily as much to talk about. And I don't want to necessarily rush it before there's like any deadline or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly, if I'm not doing so much CBD, then I'll have more time for it.
Yeah.
I got a question though. Are you getting tired, Byter, from all the yawning you're doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Randomly, I've remembered I'm tired. I probably will forget it in a short moment or while. I don't know. Like I said, I've been busy this week, and I've not been too great this week, to be honest. Like, I've had half the sleep I really should do, and I have no energy because I've been busy traveling and stuff, and it's just been bleh. And the fun prospect I have is with furnishing up a flat over yonder, and I get to make lots of flat packs. Yeah, that's fun.
Sounds like fun. Yeah.
It is. I actually don't mind flat packs. It's just sort of several hours every day, just sort of moving wood and hammering things in. Blarg.
Yeah. I'm going to ask for my last week of finals. I'm going to ask my dad to let me have all that take all that week off, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing is, last week of finals is the last week of MLP for this season.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, only 2 weeks left.
Yep.
Well,
So
Season 4 has come and gone. It's sort of gone by very quickly, and I don't remember much of it, but it was lots of gimmicks.
lots of craziness. Yep.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, it
me
was
too.
pretty. I don't know. Would you say this season was better than season 3 or worse than season 3, Butter?
I think like the situation was is that this season is very much more blatantly being popcorn, and in that way it's it's cheap, dumb fun, and it's more obvious for what it's trying to be. The season 3 had difficulties with popcorniness a lot of times. I mean, it's only a few episodes long, but I felt there was a lot of difficulties with that season that people weren't so exposed to about. They weren't so used to the show being just so ridiculously corny, or popcorny, I guess, is a better term. I don't know. It's hard to say in retrospect because, of course, we uncover the seasons as they come out, and my perspectives are coloured by that. A lot of the problems I see in season 3 and 4 I see in prior seasons, but not to the degree. The show's just a gradual slope down, or a gradual slope to a new destination, should I say.
Okay,
And
I've hopefully
season
finished
3 is in that awkward half place. Like, it resembles more properly the morals and grounded kind of slice of life stories well, at least I liked in season 1 and 2, but they really didn't work, and I didn't know why. I was just like, what? Your gimmick, your stories are a little bit more crazier, but not that much crazier. Whereas season 4 is just full out crazy. So like, I don't know. I like knowing season 4 for what it is, because it's really blatantly what it is. Season 3 is this weird in between thing that, in history and for right now, it's an in between that it's harder to describe because it's not just flat out popcorn.
Yeah.
And in a way, I don't like that as much because, it's much nicer, sort of just everyone agree it's popcorn. You get the point across. It gets the job done. If we're discussing, well, actually, this story has meaningfulness and stuff, it's like, kinda, is a much more horrible discussion to have in a way.
Yeah. I can definitely see what you mean. At least I think more of a positive impact on the brewing fandom than, say, season 3. In my opinion.
Like, I think season 4 is certainly, like, it hasn't tried, like, season 3 had kind of, like, there was a lot of controversy, like, people really trying to defend Sombra and the Crystal Empire, or
Yeah.
like, real people getting passionate about Princess Twilight Sparkle, that magical mystery cure, and quite a bit in between with Wonderflop Academy, Slopless in Ponyville, and so on. Season 4, though, I mean, people didn't really like Princess Twilight Sparkle, and even those who do don't necessarily put much of a fight up about it. Like, everyone sort of, after Princess Twilight Sparkle, this isn't necessarily the thing that is uber perfect. Everyone sort of knows that now, and that's nice. I mean, the show was never uber perfect to begin with, but hard to say. I mean, some people really like Flight to the Finish and Testing 1 2 3, but I really dislike that where we randomly still think the show still has the qualities it used to, when it's still got those problems.
But there's still some episodes I will agree with that are actually good, like Pinky Pride is actually almost reminds me of a season 1 or season 2 episode.
I don't know, like, what I would say is Pinky Pride reminds me most of Magic Jewel. Both of them are hugely extravagant, over-the-top affairs that, lots of stuff is going on, lots of people bouncing around and stuff happening and feelings being felt. And they're not bad stories in themselves. They do sort of make their own coherent sense. But season 1 and 2, bombastic, over-the-top stories, I don't really see that necessarily. I mean, season 2 has some more than that. But, like, if you think season 1 at least, what's the most bombastic thing there? Maybe feeling Pinky Keen, perhaps, with the Hydra fight?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just there's no
see a
episode.
dragon.
Yeah, there's no episode necessarily in season 1, or even the episode season 2, that was, balls to the wall action or craziness or lots of stuff crammed into it at every second for all the episode. There's high points, there's low points in lots of them, but there's nothing really like it. So I don't think it's a season 1 or 2. It doesn't have the qualities of season 1 or 2. It has a quality of writing, or at least an angle it's going for that you could see what it's doing, and it sort of works. But I still find problems with how much is crammed in there that you never really necessarily had with the Best Night Ever.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps Friendship is Magic episode 1 or 2, the beginning, prologue is trying to do a lot, and it doesn't really land a lot of its eggs, and a lot of its eggs don't even count anymore after that episode happens. Even then, it doesn't do too much. First episode is Twilight turns up and says hello to everyone, and then Night Moon goes, "Mwah." That's 20 minutes. That's really simple. It's not as crammed as like a Magic Jewel. A Magic Jewel takes place in that time. which is just
Yeah.
crazy if you think about it. And
It is.
yeah, I mean, there was at least a slight gem. I liked Maud Pie in the sense it wasn't just always slapstick humor. There was dry humor too. It had a lot of problems, but hey, someone has a little bit of an independent mind. That is good. If there's someone who actually is unique in a group of writers who are all doing generic crap, maybe he helps, or maybe he'll do something good in future. I don't know.
Yes.
We can
And yeah, I don't know if there's any others. I mean, a lot of things were just boring. Games Ponies Play isn't bad. It's just boring. Well, it's pretty bad, but
Games Ponies Play was pretty predictable. That was the
Yeah.
main problem. It's just it's a stereotypical, like, oh, we never say each other's name mix-up thing.
yeah, it's just sort of also like, the difficulty I have with why I say it's not a good episode is, the predictability is really blatant. Like, it shows what's going to happen. You can guess what's going to happen. It's also, though, just like the main 6 characters aren't that likable, really, or what they're going through isn't really that I don't care. And the new character, the hen girl, she's not really much of a character. I don't like her either. The whole weird claustrophobia thing. Like, she spent all this time in this train and then just like, big indoor spaces. This is what really frightens me. This is why did you travel to the Crystal Empire, the place of big indoor spaces, if you're scared of that?
Yeah.
Because she's just an idiot for them to play off. But everything else, like the whole palaver with the headdress, I don't care. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's just messing around. It's not that good. There's nothing redeeming for the episode. It's just boring.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. And it's interesting seeing. I don't know. What would you guys say on the regards of the reviewing community or the fandom's reaction in general to the show in general? I don't necessarily have much evidence to say one way or the other.
Reviewing community, I would say it's been a little bit more negative. But it also depends on the person. But all around, I would say more negative on season 3. In certain way, it seems like a lot of people, if they are, unless they're blindly not looking at all of the stuff. But for most of the fandom, unless you're on 4chan or Tumblr, you're pretty positive on the show.
Yeah, I say that still.
Yeah, but but I will say the fandom is still growing. It's still taking on people. It will always still grow. The only because of the show still going on, it will be a steady stream. All I'm going to say is that we're going to probably lose more of the older people and probably stuff like that than the younger, than just like and gain new people that will see the show what it is today and be like, that's awesome, and that'd be more fuel on the fire. That means for the writers that, hey, they still like this. Like, we can get away with more. They could either get away with more stuff or something like that.
Yeah, I will say, like, I don't know. I mean, I started near the end of sort of season 1 when Bronies first were actually just sort of known about, and I just sort of watched season 2 as a fan. I found about the Bronies at season 3-ish. I found between season 2 and 3 and started doing something at season 3. So, like, I'm one of those old veterans, for example, and yeah, a lot of people I do meet who suddenly appear are sort of people who said, "Oh, I started season 4." Even. I was just like, "Wow, where's all the oldies? Isn't there like?"
Byter Pros.
Yeah, I was about to say, and I'm just a newbie. I started watching in August and marathoned it every episode.
Thank God I'm hosting the stream. Otherwise, there'd be a lot of cuts.
Yes, there would be.
Well,
See,
2. We're up to 2. Keep the count going.
Yeah, I'm not on there right now. I'm not there, so to make sure that I don't have any problems with it. So yeah, with my side like that, like Byter has. Yeah, I think that it's either that I think a lot of the oldies have left, like couple. I have noticed a lot of people that are old in the fandom have not been in the fandom for a while. And 4chan has changed a little bit. By 4chan, I mean /MLP / not 4chan, 4chan. And I have noticed that they have changed a little bit, and it hasn't been the same people as always.
Well, I haven't noticed, but that's because I'm a newbie.
Well, yeah. I just remember how season 2. I just know the energy was when I went to when I was in beforehand of season 3. I knew the energy. I found the energy of a lot of people, and there's a lot of people, and you can see it into a couple of the people, the main people, how much energy they had into the show when you're looking at it and stuff that.
Here's a good question, and this may be because I've been looking at a lot of Star Trek pictures while this was going on. If Equestria ever discovers spaceflight, do you think it will be Princess Luna who will be leading it?
I have no idea. It might be Celestia. I don't know.
Oh, well, Luna's actually, as far as we know, the only one who's been in space.
Unless you go by the comic.
In fact, yeah, except, well, she's the first one to go into space as far as we know. It reminds me, there was this other hilarious, picture on, it's actually a comic. It's on DeviantArt, but I found it on Derby Baru. In fact, I'm probably going to go to the DeviantArt one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, I actually know a couple of people that I'm in Skype group with that were fans of MLP back in where I actually started. They started around my time, and they're actually getting burned out of the show and stuff like that, and they don't care as much about it. In fact, I have met a person that doesn't watch the show anymore.
Oh, I'm just gonna say.
Here's that comic.
Okay. Thank you.
I was gonna say. The only reason I started watching is because I saw ponies everywhere, and I was like, fine, I'll watch an episode or two.
Yeah. I can see that.
Let's just say I was curious.
Yeah, I can see that. I was kind of the same way. My friends were talking. I have a couple of people that I was in class with that were talking about, like, ever since, like, from 2012, like, in spring and fall and winter, and I was like, okay, yeah, I wasn't too big into it, and I was like, I had Discovery Kids, and I had some shows that I actually watched on there because I was like, why not? I was like, I can just watch them for fun and all that. Because at the time I was doing swimming and I was tired. I was always tired.
and strangely enough, my first episode was Secret of My Excess. So. Okay.
Mine is actually halfway through winter, the
Fall Weather Friends.
Fall Weather Friends, halfway through it. Then it was a rarity episode, but Fall Weather Friends was my very beginning episode. I will say that.
Years ago.
After I watched Secret of My Excess, I watched like a couple episodes from season 3, and then I watched like from the beginning.
Oh my god. Have you guys looked at the comic yet? It is hilarious. I laugh every time I read it.
I'm looking at it now.
Did it make you cry tears of joy?
I heard a little bit of Christopher Lloyd in that.
Maybe.
Ludi, I heard a little bit of Christopher Lloyd in that.
I mostly stole it from Anthony C. You know how I do.
I can't remember which first episode that I watched, but then I remember watching the pilot episode, and then it was Studio for Success, and then the Kinema Chronicles, and then season 2 onwards.
I will say this. This is the funny thing. Between my very first episode and the second episode was about 2 months.
For me, it was a summer day. My brother had been making art like he usually does. He told me about the show, My Little Pony. It was apparently after season 1. So I googled it, found a YouTube channel with all of the episodes, and I watched them. And then from then on, I just kept watching the show.
Your younger sister, Basher permanently, and the
Older brother, he makes art. He's good at it.
I want to give my opinion about season 4. Now we've got only 2 more episodes left, in which we have the season finale, two-parter.
Yeah. I watched that video you did of season 4 so far. Your thoughts?
Yeah. But overall, I think season 4 has been a really good season. Like, there were some episodes that really hit the high bars, and there was like some episodes that were a bit that needed like more questions answered. Say, for example, the Daring Don't episode, where Daring Do is turning from a fictional character to an actual character of Equestria. So that's still a bit it's like some like headbandering. And there were like some episodes where they were like hit and miss, but overall, I think season 4 has been pretty good, in my opinion.
Rosie, I wanted to ask, are you British?
Yeah, I'm British, like Byter.
Are you in London?
No, I live in Scarborough, North Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah, because usually when someone else other than Byter who's British is on, I ask where do they live relative to Byter. But unfortunately, I asked the question before Byter was here, so I'm gonna have to repeat myself or something.
Anyway, I was about to say I said there's definitely more hits than this season. I like most of them.
Most of the recent you go first.
What? So of all the episodes that you've seen on season 4, which one you say was your favorite?
Piggy Pride.
Yay.
Yeah, very much. I like.
If only there was a Luna episode that wasn't For Whom the Sweetie Belle Tolls.
Oh, you didn't like it either?
Toils. It's up to speculation as to whether or not the nightmare was or wasn't Luna's doing. You guys convinced me that it wasn't Luna's doing, and I would really like to accept that, but I just am still wary about the truth.
The truth shall set you free.
When I first heard that Weird Al was going to be in My Little Pony, I was really excited about it, because although I haven't heard many of his songs except the Pokemon song that he did for Pokemon the Movie 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really interested in how it would be really good in My Little Pony. So from the first few seconds, when the episode opens, I was really amazed by it.
Mm-hmm. Also, Byter will not be joining because...
Yes, he is retiring for the night.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's retiring.
But I will still keep the aftermath going.
Yes.
Alright, let's try to make things more lively this time.
Weird Al was in a Pokemon movie?
He
no,
was in the
no,
first
he did,
one.
No, he
Wasn't
did. No, he did a song for the for Pokemon the movie 2000. It was called Pokemon. So it was like it's doing like a poke rap.
Oh yeah, that one. I love that song.
Hmm.
Wait,
Remix.
wait. Are you talking about like the opening theme for the movie? Like it's kind of like a remix version of the season 2 of Pokemon the Orange Islands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah.
I wish it went on longer.
I
Yeah.
still prefer the original version of that.
The original was better than the 2001, I would say. Too.
I disagree.
Story.
I really like the remake theme song in Pokemon the first movie. That one's pretty good.
It was pretty good. The Pokemon movie was pretty good. Good. They've been nowadays not as great, but yeah.
The first one, there's a reason the first one was reviewed by the Nostalgia Critic. And I agree with him as to the BS ending as to reversing time so that important lesson would be erased from memory.
And they must have known that they screwed up.
He didn't reverse time. He just erased memory.
Yeah.
The thing is though is that it's season the 2001 was had a lot more corny stuff in it. Even though
I will say here's a good thing I will say about 2000. At least Team Rocket does something, unlike in most of the other movies they're in.
And
well, Team Rocket
the
also
movie, yeah.
does something in the first movie.
Yeah, but that was a smaller part.
Also, Team Rocket in 2000 is more breaking the fourth wall in 2000. I know that.
Yeah.
Which is not a negative. I'm just saying it's a point out.
Yeah. I remember they're falling down. They're like, let's just say we're gonna die, and they fall in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't remind me at first, but it reminded someone else, which kind of made sense in my mind. Did the Crystal Empire remind anyone else, at least in parts of the third Pokemon movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Exactly.
The third Pokemon movie, I can definitely see that. Inte.
Yeah. It's cool.
I hope I don't have the same problem I had last
They
week.
I hope they do more villains than just pony-like character villains. That's why I like Discord and the Plants Ants so much. Because I like the Changelings though, but not that much. Like if they have more villains that are less human, that'd be better because it expands the world when they have something like that.
My top three favorite.
I don't know if this counts as a villain, but is Gilda technically a villain?
Technically,
No.
yes.
Yeah, technically, yeah, but Discord is a villain.
Oh, whatever.
Discord is a villain, but he's chaotic neutral.
As
Chaos.
AY describes it.
Yeah. Me. That's the funny thing. Me, E, and A and Y actually think of the same way when we think of alignments, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Surprising.
I see Discord as well. When I first saw him in the Return of Harmony, I think he was the best villain by far. But when he was reformed in Keycom and Flodoron, I consider him to be sort of like an anti-hero, just like Shadow the Hedgehog in the Sonic series.
Well,
Ah.
yeah, because he
Yay.
wasn't really a villain at the time, but I still consider him for that one episode to be the best villain, and he is more like an anti-hero right now, but he's still chaotic neutral. Your alignment doesn't your alignment really doesn't change a lot in a lot of things. And I heard my name. Wait a minute.
And we sit patiently, awaiting what he is going through. Although we're just
I
going
heard
to
he was-
continue the conversation, because, yeah.
I was
Okay, never mind.
What did you guys think of the comic that I showed you?
Still haven't seen it.
No, not to cut your thing out. But when you said comic, I was like, yes, I remember what I was gonna say. I want to pat someone on the back for having the idea of Discord and the Kingdom Crusaders and Friends Forever issue 2. That's just genius.
So what did you guys think of the comic that I showed you guys?
It's funny. It's
It's
funny.
really good.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
What, you're just now
I
reading
sadly
it,
didn't
Rosie?
look at.
Sorry, it was Cecilia, but
But by the way, Z-Sir, how much of the comics have you read?
Not a lot.
Ah.
I've only read the
Not a
first
lot.
two.
I have been I've been looking at the comics through 4chan because they have actual comic thing on there. They actually go they actual, like, when a new comic comes out. I've been missing a lot of their threads, but when they have a new comic come out, they have their comic thing. And you can suggest comics, and I'm so far behind that I gotta suggest really old comics.
Well, you know, you can always watch the comics on YouTube. That's where they all are.
Well,
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that they were all on YouTube.
They
and you
must
were
be.
able to read them.
They must be dubs, fan dubs.
Yeah.
No. They're not fan dubs. I actually did look at one of them. It's the actual comic.
I usually like to have, like, the actual thing in my possession, though. I usually
So
like
do
to
I.
actually own mine. That's why I usually try to go out to buy my own comics.
Or you know, you could just wait for the trade and buy them.
Yeah.
Let's see here, what else to discuss? Oh yeah, I was really happy in yesterday's episode. I was like, Octavia, there's Octavia.
Oh, yeah, Octavius was there. Yeah.
And I was like, Octavia, where have you been? I haven't seen you since Sweet and Elite from season 2.
Yeah. She's been busy, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I kind of thought it was kind of weird when Rarity I thought it was kind of weird when Rarity went all crazy and all that, but yeah.
Oh, I just loved it. I loved yesterday's episode, which is why I was kind of shaking my fist. Like, oh, of course, Byter doesn't like the episode. I shouldn't be surprised anymore.
Well, yeah, but but at least think of the reasons why he doesn't like the episode. You gotta always think why he doesn't like this episode.
I just kind of gird when I went. Rarity's been flanderized again.
Well, he'll say that with a lot of the characters, like Rarity was. Rarity, he has a specific way he thinks of Rarity. He has a specific way he thinks of Pinkie Pie. He has a specific way he thinks of Rainbow Dash. He has a way that he thinks of Twilight. He has a way he thinks of AJ. He has a different way with all the characters, how they act, how they react. They do this, they do that. That's why he does. That's why in his head, that's how he does those little things that of what if your character does this, what does it do? That's what he asks, because see what your character does. If you have a solid character and you know exactly what they would do, they're going to react this specific way to this reaction, depending on what it is.
So who here has ever heard of the Tumblr blog, Spider Pony Rarity?
Nope.
No.
Although I've been looking up some 60s Spider-Man memes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. 60 Spider-Man movies, especially the Avengers 60s movies.
No. I mean the 60s Spider-Man cartoon, like the first Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. I know that someone was reading them off of YouTube in Spider-Man's voice.
Yeah. Yeah, what the heck?
No, Barrel, I insist. After you.
Are you referencing Princess Promenade again?
No. I'm talking about 60s Spider-Man cartoon memes.
Oh.
Don't worry, guys. It's cool. I saw this on Tom and Jerry once.
You should never, ever try anything from Tom and Jerry.
He sees a squid with tentacles, and he goes, I see enough hentai to know where this is going.
Wasn't that said by one of the bronies on Bronies React to Season 4 premiere?
Yeah.
I see enough hentai to know where this is going.
Tentacles, really? You know.
There's a forest burning down. And Spider-Man goes, oh, Smoking the Bear is gonna strangle me.
Yeah.
This is me giving a crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah.
His hands are in the air. He's going, look at all the F's I give.
Yes.
I could like talk about them for like hours.
Yeah. Good. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Alright. Well,
I could blink.
Well, I think I've got to be going now because got an early start tomorrow. So it was nice talking to you all, and
Hi, Rose.
and thanks for being a guest.
Oh yeah, Rose. One more thing. Well, on the CBD, I noticed you weren't saying a whole lot.
I did say much. So it was like being specific points that the guys were raising from today's episode. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best way to get into the conversation is to just hammer yourself in there. Just keep talking, because they will shut up.
Yeah, that is one thing. Sorry, I didn't leave yet as soon as I... Yeah, that's the one thing you have to do when you're in a podcast. You have to try to get your own words in there. You can't stand in the back and can't really talk. You have to interrupt. You might not interrupt, but if somebody's done with their point, you gotta get your point in there. And sometimes that causes people talk at the same time. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Or you could just.
Unless you're going on turn based.
So thanks for letting me be a guest on the CBD and also the Aftermath. So it was really a lot of fun talking to you guys.
Thank you very much, and hopefully we
too.
can have you. Hopefully we can have you again. Have a nice day.
I will. So see you later, every pony. Like I always
Bye.
say.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Octavia says bye.
Bye.
See you later, Rose.
So does Twiley.
Don't get into trouble with the doctor.
The doctor?
The doctor. Doctor Who?
Well, I think you guys think we've been good.
We're probably good with the CBD Aftermath.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
See you guys. Have a nice day.
Princess Celestia. I have learned a very valuable lesson about friendship.